Did you know that the Philippines' biggest export isn't a product, it's its people? Yes! Filipinos are everywhere, working hard in different countries, keeping important industries running. They are the world's top suppliers of nurses and seafarers. And here's something shocking. Filipinos working abroad send back more than $33 billion every year. That's nearly 10% of the country's entire economy. Imagine if 1 out of every 10 businesses in your town was built using money sent by Filipinos working overseas. That's how huge their impact is. But here's the big question. Why do Filipinos have to leave just to find success? Why do so many families have to live apart just to survive? Some overseas Filipino workers decide to stay in their new countries forever. Some return home to retire. Others come back after years of hard work. But now, something unexpected is happening. A reverse migration. Filipinos from the US, Canada, Japan, and the Middle East are moving back home. Why? Because something exciting is happening in the Philippines, new opportunities. But wait, if the Philippines is now offering better chances, can everyone benefit? Is this real economic growth? Or are some people just being forced to return? And here's a crazy thought. Could the American dream now be found in the Philippines instead of America? Could Filipinos finally build success without leaving their homeland? Did you know that more and more Filipinos are returning to the Philippines? Yes. Something surprising is happening. People who once left are now coming back. But Filipinos have always been travelers. In fact, they were the first Asians to set foot in the Americas, way back in 1587, 33 years before the Pilgrims even arrived on the Mayflower. For over a century, Filipinos have moved abroad in waves. In 1903, the Manong generation went to the U.S. to work on farms. After World War II, over 150,000 Filipino healthcare workers were recruited through special programs like the 1948 Exchange Visitor Program and the 1965 Immigration and Nationality Act. By the 2000s, millions of overseas Filipino workers were sending money home, powering the country's economy while working as nurses, engineers, teachers, and domestic helpers. Some Filipinos stay abroad permanently. But why do others return? One big reason is retirement. Life is cheaper in the Philippines, and many find it more affordable to settle down here. Others come back due to global crises, the 2008 Great Recession, and the 2020 COVID-19 pandemic forced many families to return for safety, healthcare, and stability. But what about those who never really grew up in the Philippines? What if you were born abroad, raised in a mix of cultures, and suddenly had to move back? Many second-generation Filipinos, those raised in the US, Canada, Japan, or the Middle East, now find themselves asking, am I Filipino enough to come home? But here's the real question. Why did Filipinos leave in the first place? What if they didn't have to? Right now, something exciting is happening in the Philippines. There's a boom in technology and creativity, offering new chances for success. Could the Philippines become a place where Filipinos no longer have to leave to find a better future? Could it finally be home for all Filipinos, no matter where they were born? Did you know that the Philippines is becoming a hotspot for startups? Just a few years ago, hardly anyone talked about Filipino startups. But now, money is pouring in. In 2018, Philippine startups raised $440 million. By 2021, that number exploded to over $1 billion. That's the kind of growth that helped turn the Silicon Valley into a global tech giant, birthing companies like Apple and Google. And guess what? Some people are calling this new wave Sinigang Valley, a Filipino version of Silicon Valley. But what does this have to do with Filipinos returning home? A lot. First, this tech boom is attracting global investors. Even the US is one of the top 6 investors in the Philippines. That means more opportunities, not just for locals, but for returning Filipinos and even foreigners. Businesses like Al Dente Pasta Bar and the beauty brand Tevian, founded by an Indonesian celebrity, prove that people from all over the world see the potential here. Second, many Filipino entrepreneurs living abroad feel the pull to reconnect with their roots. Coming back home isn't just about business, it's about rediscovering culture, identity, and belonging. And finally, these startups aren't just creating jobs, they're creating future founders. This isn't just a passing trend, it's the start of something big. Could the Philippines be the next global tech hub? And could this be the reason more Filipinos are finally coming home? Did you know that one successful startup can create many more businesses? It's like a chain reaction. When employees from thriving companies decide to start their own businesses, they create more jobs, boost the economy, and help build a strong middle class in the Philippines. A great example is Roland and Rexy, whose work with Kumu, a popular live streaming app, led to the rise of other companies within its growing ecosystem. But here's the big question. If the Philippines now has better job opportunities, are they open to everyone? Can both Filipinos and foreigners take advantage of this economic boom? The answer is yes, but it's complicated. Foreigners, or expats, often have a financial advantage. Many come from countries where their money is worth more than the Philippine peso, giving them extra resources to invest in businesses. Because of this, more expats are choosing to start companies in the Philippines, helping to create even more jobs for Filipinos. One of the biggest examples of this is the business process outsourcing industry. You might not think about it, but call centers and outsourcing companies in the Philippines handle customer service for major businesses in the US, Europe, Japan, New Zealand, and Australia. It's a massive industry that brings in almost $30 billion every year. To put that into perspective, that's like if a single industry in the US made as much money as Walmart and Nike combined. And it's not just about money, this industry provides millions of jobs. In 2019 alone, around 1.3 million Filipinos worked for over 1,000 business process outsourcing companies. This means that outsourcing isn't just helping foreign companies, it's changing lives in the Philippines, giving people stable jobs, better incomes, and more career growth. But what does this all mean for the future? If more startups keep growing, if more Filipinos return home to start their own businesses, and if the country keeps attracting foreign investment, could the Philippines become one of the world's top business hubs? Could it be the next Silicon Valley of Asia? The pieces are coming together. The talent is here. The opportunities are growing. The question is, are Filipinos ready to take advantage of this golden age? Did you know that some of the biggest Filipino brands started from almost nothing? While foreigners may have an advantage because their money is worth more in the Philippines, Filipinos born and raised in the country are proving that they too can build powerful businesses. Take Potato Corner, for example. It started as a tiny food stall selling flavored fries. Now, it's a global brand with locations around the world. Another success story is Colorette, a local makeup company founded by Nina Elaine Dizon Cabrera, a college student who dreamed of starting her own beauty brand. Today, her company is a major player in the industry. Then, there's National Bookstore, Mercury Drug, and Manginasal, all Filipino-founded businesses that have become household names. But here's something even more shocking. While many Filipino Americans grew up in the US, their families left the Philippines for the exact same reasons that push Filipinos to work abroad today. Poverty, economic struggles, and corrupt politicians who care more about themselves than the people. One Fil-Am even said, "We are in our positions because of the same struggles that forced our parents to leave." Think about this. 10% of all Filipinos don't even live in the Philippines. That means 1 out of every 10 Filipinos is working, studying, or raising a family in another country. Why? Because for decades, many believed that success could only be found abroad. But now, with the Philippines booming in tech, startups, and entrepreneurship, things are changing fast. So, the real question is, will more Filipinos come back home to build the future? Or will the struggles that made them leave in the first place keep them away? The next chapter in the Philippines' story is being written right now, and it's going to be exciting, unpredictable, and full of surprises. Did you know that many Filipino Americans owe their lives to the sacrifices of OFWs, Filipinos who left their families to work abroad? They grew up navigating life in a foreign land, often caught between two identities. But instead of judging them for what they have, shouldn't we welcome them for what they want to bring back? Many Filipino Americans long to reconnect with Filipino culture and community, to rediscover the roots their parents or grandparents left behind. For decades, America was seen as the ultimate land of opportunity. the place where dreams come true. But is that still the case? While Filipinos will continue to move abroad in search of better lives, something unexpected is happening. The Philippines itself is now becoming a land of opportunity. And it's not just in Metro Manila, but across different regions where growth, innovation, and success stories are emerging. The truth is, we're no longer chasing the American dream. A stronger Philippines means a better future for everyone, whether at home or abroad. So, will more Filipinos come back to build this dream? Or will they still look elsewhere? The choice is ours. Thanks for watching,